Hi everybody, it's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in watching today's video. Today's video is called How to Travel with a Cat, 5 Tips for Safety and Comfort. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the 2 most important things to consider when you're traveling with your cat, and that is their safety and their comfort. I'm going to give you 5 tips to cover these. If you have not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own a website called PeopleLovingAnimals.com, and several times a month I do videos all about the health and care and training of dogs and cats. So if you would like to receive continuous help with your pet, go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. And as always, if the video is helpful for you, please give it a like so that other people can see the video. And I would love it if you would drop a comment with your questions, or if you have more tips on how to travel with a cat, and also just to let me know what you think of the video. Okay, so again, thank you so much for spending the time with me. I'll try not to keep you too long. We are on my website, PeopleLovingAnimals.com. We're going to use this article, How to Travel with a Cat, to guide us through today's video. I am going to give you the link to this article in the description box if you want to go there, and I'll also give you the link to anything that we talk about during the video. Now, like I said, the 2 most important points to consider when you're traveling with cats is their safety and comfort. Let's go over 5 tips to cover those things. Tip number 1, vaccinations. You should make sure your cat is vaccinated before you travel for 2 reasons. One is because obviously you want to protect them from any diseases that they could be exposed to while you're traveling. If you have a house cat that normally doesn't get certain vaccinations, you might want to talk with your vet, tell them where you're taking your cat, and see if your vet suggests anything additional for your cat to have before you go. And the second reason is if you're traveling to a different country, or even if you're traveling out of state, you're probably going to have to need those up-to-date vaccination records when you're going through customs, if you're at an airport, even if you're driving over the state line, those sorts of things. So you want to make sure your cat is vaccinated before you travel. Tip number 2 is identification. I think some people don't think of this. You should put a collar on your cat. Even if your cat doesn't normally wear a collar, put a collar on your cat. Make sure it fits comfortably and it's not too tight or too loose. And then put a tag on the cat's collar with your cell phone number and the cat's name. I'm going to give you a link to a place called pettags.com. I've gotten my pet tags from them for, I think, more than 20 years now. They're super inexpensive, and you can get a little tag with the pet's name and your cell phone number. And I want to remind you, if you have a landline at your home, which I don't even know who does anymore, but be careful not to leave your home phone number. Make it your cell phone number, because obviously if you're traveling with your cat, you're not at home. So I definitely recommend that you get your phone number on your cat. And if you think, oh, my cat is going to be with me the whole time, you would be surprised how many instances there have been where cats have escaped from their owners while traveling. Okay, so it's very important that you get their identification on them. You might also consider microchipping. That's something that you could check into. I personally have never done that with an animal, but if you've been here before, you know that I just, in October, I adopted a feral cat named Whiskers. He's about 7 months old now, and I'm considering the next time I take him to the vet, I'm going to ask about microchipping, because apparently it's pretty inexpensive, and it's pretty effective, because if your cat is ever lost and somebody takes it to the SPCA or a local vet's office, they'll be able to contact you, because the first thing they'll check is to see if the cat has a chip. Okay, so tip number 3 is use the right carrier. No cat should travel without being in a carrier. You should pick the right size carrier. You'll know it's the right size if your cat can stand up in it and easily turn around. Okay, that's how big the crate should be. I'm going to give you a link to Amazon. I have found Amazon to have the best selection of crates and also the best sizes, and they have several different kinds of crates too, just a nice selection of sizes and types and good prices. Always make sure that the hinges on the crate, all of them, all around the crate, are closed correctly. Cats can drop out of a carrier because even one of the latches is not latched correctly, and you go to pick up the carrier and the cat drops out. I witnessed that firsthand myself. I have a friend named Pat who is an older woman, and I happened to see her at the vet. I was at the vet's office. She showed up at the vet's office. She goes to get her cat out of the car. She pulls out the carrier. The bottom of the carrier dropped off. The cat ran down the street. She and I searched for about 2 weeks for that cat. She never saw the cat again. Okay, but you can imagine how scared the cat was. The cat took off and did not come back. So I don't mean to scare you, but I do mean to scare you. Just always make sure, even in your everyday life, if you're taking your cat to the vet, every single time you pick up that carrier, check every latch and make sure that they're closed, okay? Also, if you're traveling with your cat in a car, keep your cat in the carrier in the back seat with the fastened with a seat belt or a harness to keep the carrier from being thrown in case of an accident. The cat's carrier is kind of like their car seat, like you would put a kid in. Never take your cat out of the carrier if you're traveling in a car. Your cat can easily be startled, jump out of your arms, and run away. Like, for example, if you're traveling down the highway, your cat's in the carrier, and you're going to pull over to rest stop, okay? Say you're going to sit there and park, you're going to open up the carrier, maybe you're going to feed the cat, maybe you're going to, you've got a little travel litter box, you're going to set the cat in for a few minutes, whatever. If the cat is out of the carrier, do not open the doors of the car for 1 single second. You would be surprised how they will decide to bolt. They will bolt. They will run. They may run out into the highway. Regardless, you may never see the cat again. And again, I'm not trying to scare you, but I am trying to scare you. Also, don't be one of these people that say, oh, I can get my cat out of the carrier and stand there for a few minutes in the parking lot and he won't run from me. Okay, maybe 99 times out of 100, your cat won't run from you, but all it takes is that one time. What if somebody pulls up with a barking dog? What if a dog runs after your cat or comes towards you while you're holding the cat? What if somebody honks a horn? Do you know what I mean? Just please don't risk it. When you're traveling with your cat, keep them in the carrier. And if they're in the car, if you want to take them out of the car while you're parked or out of the carrier while you're parked, that's okay. But please do not open the doors. Don't think that your cat's going to stay with you, and don't think that they can't escape. Okay? Tip number 4, provide food and water. Obviously, the best way to provide water for your cat in the carrier is to use a hamster water bottle. I'm sure you've seen those before. I'm going to give you a link to Amazon. There's a nice selection of those. They're very inexpensive. And if you don't know, it's one of those water bottles that hangs on the inside of a hamster cage, and it drips water, and they can put their little lips up to the pipe and get water out of it. That's what it is. So it can hook inside the carrier. The best way to provide water in carrier is to use that. Make sure that you do a dry run, though, in the carrier before the trip. If your dog has never used a water bottle like that, right? If nothing else, a couple days before, set up the carrier, hook that water bottle to something, and make sure your cat knows that that is a source of water and he knows how to go up to it and lick it and that he's going to get water out of that. You only really need to show him once so that he understands, but make sure you show him because he may not figure that out, especially if he's under stress with traveling, right? Now, for food, remember that when you're traveling with your cat, the cat is going to be more likely to eat the whole meal and to eat when you want him to if you're serving him canned cat food. All right. If you put a dish of dry cat food down, unless the cat is starving, he may not sit there and eat it. He may just, think he's got all day like he does every day in his normal life to eat the dry cat food. So if your cat usually doesn't eat canned cat food, first of all, please start putting your cat on a mix of dry food and cat food. I have a video under the pet health category on this YouTube channel about the best food for your cat. It is very important for cats to have moisture in their diet. Don't give your cat just dry kibble. But if you are currently giving your cat just dry kibble and you've never given canned cat food, again, a week or two before you're taking the cat somewhere, start serving him some canned cat food so that he's used to it and so that he will like it and obviously know what it is when you give it to him. And so when you're traveling, it's going to be easier for you to just put a dish down of that cat food, and he's going to be more likely to eat it all in one sitting, or at least have a large amount in one sitting, and to eat when you want him to eat, okay? And also, while you're traveling, try to keep your cat on the his same feeding schedule if you can. I mean, I know it can be difficult, but if your cat usually eats, half a can of cat food in the morning and half a can at dinner time, try to stick as close to that schedule as you can for the cat, because it's going to make the cat more comfortable, but it's also going to keep from disrupting their digestive system. Now you got a problem where the cat's pooping at a different time, or these sorts of things. Okay. And tip number 5 is keep your cat calm. Bring along your cat's favorite toy or blanket, something that smells like home, something that's familiar from home. Bring their own bed if possible, like if you're going to be in a hotel, even though the cat's traveling in a carrier, whether you're on a plane or you're in a car, bring the cat's bed so that when you're in the hotel, he can possibly sleep in it. Or if the crate is big enough, you could put his bed inside the crate, or at least put his blanket inside his crate so that he's comfortable. Try to keep things quiet as possible. Like for example, if you've got kids in the back seat and the cat's in the carrier in the back seat, try to have the kids be aware that the cat might be terrified here. Okay. So just try to keep things as quiet as possible. And as tempting as it is to want to constantly comfort your cat, don't interact with your cat constantly. Because the best thing for your cat when they're traveling is quiet and boredom, because the best thing for them is to doze off, right? For them is to be bored, to be quiet, to be calm. So if you're constantly interacting with them, constantly reassuring them, do you see what I mean? You want to make sure that your cat is aware that you're there. Maybe speak softly to him, every once in a while. Make sure that he knows that you're there, but don't overdo it on interacting with him. Now, also, if your cat will not stay calm while traveling, talk with your vet, because for 2 reasons. One is they do have mild sedatives that you can give a cat who has to travel to help the cat to stay calm and to be able to handle it, especially if it's like a one-time thing where you're moving or you have to take your cat somewhere, But remember, if your cat seems to be in distress when traveling, then you might have a cat that you shouldn't be traveling with. All right. Now, like I said, sometimes you can't avoid it. If you're moving, for example, you've got to take the cat. Sometimes if you're going to be gone, out of state or something for a long period of time, you need to take your cat. Sometimes you don't have any choice, and those are the times when you want to speak to your vet so that you can make it as easy for your cat as possible. But if you just think it's fun to take your cat on vacation and all these things, but your cat is really having a hard time with it, then you have to make other arrangements. I do have a video. What is it called? I think it's either under the pet care category or the pet health category, and it's called something like How Long Can You Leave a Cat Home Alone? And in that video, I give lots of advice on how long you can leave your cat home alone. And then if you do have to leave your cat home alone, how do you keep your cat safe and comfortable while you're gone? Okay, so if you're deciding, my cat really doesn't like to go with me when I go on vacation, I'm going to be gone a week, I'm going to be gone 2 weeks, that video, I'll try to remember to link it for you, is going to give you a lot more advice on if you decide not to take your cat traveling and you decide that the cat should stay home, okay? A couple of things before we go. For more information, I did do an article. It has a full video called Tips for Traveling with Cats, Plan Ahead. In that video, we talk about everything that we've talked about here, but we also talk about how to train your cat to like the carrier. I give some steps there on how you get your cat used to the carrier. We talk a little bit more in that video about traveling in the car with your cat. And then we also cover in that video traveling by plane with your cat. Okay, so if you need to get more into this and you need more information, go ahead and click on either that article, the videos in it, or click on the video. Okay. One more thing, if you have not been here before, you don't know, I donate to animal charities. I do peoplelovinganimals.com as my full-time job. The way that I do that is I am an affiliate for several of the products and services that I recommend on my website. For example, I am affiliate for Amazon. So if you're clicking on the links in my description box for Amazon products like the carrier and you go ahead and buy one, I will get a small commission. And then I donate 10% of all of the commissions that I earn to animal charities. And if you go to the homepage of my website, peoplelovinganimals.com, you will find a list of the animal charities that I donate to. One more thing before we go, everything that we talked about is going to be in the description box. I'm going to try to remember to link those videos for you in the description box or at the end of the video. And I also have a link in my description box if you would like to sign up to my cat lovers email list. About once a week or so, you'll get an email from peoplelovinganimals.com, and it will be all about the care and health and training of cats. And when you subscribe to that, I will send you a free little ebook on how to stop bad cat behavior. It's a nice little cat training ebook that I think that you will find helpful. I would love to have you on board as a subscriber there, as well as a subscriber to this email channel. One more thing, I keep saying one more thing. I want to say a special thank you to all the people who are supporting peoplelovinganimals.com with the links in the description boxes of the videos. Your support is really appreciated. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this has helped. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.